ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for sticking with us in the past 2 episodes of Social Media
Massacre.
Exactly. I was just about to say madness, because madness would have fit into. Anyway, and we just wanted to say a couple shout-outs. I have a shout-out to James Toussaint from New Haiti and Toussaint Legacy. And you have a shout-out?
Yeah, I have a shout-out. I have a shout-out to a good friend and loyal viewer to the Em&Cas Vodcast, Malin Snabia. Very, very nice person from Denmark who allowed me to be a part of a couple of her voice acting skits, one of which is called Hellish Psychosis, and the second one being One Last Tradition. I'm in the part 2 of the latter, and both of which you will find on her YouTube channel, Blood So Tales, which I will provide a link into the description below. Again, it's just, I guess, giving me a way to put myself over on this podcast. Anyway, thank you for...
thank you for watching, girl. Thank you
once again for giving me the chance to work with you. I had a lot of fun doing it. Mm-hmm. Great person to work with, first and foremost, and hopefully I'll get a chance to do more of her voiceover audiobook style videos in the near future.
She is Danish, and I like to say one thing about Danish people. I played a game of checkers against a Danish person once when I was like 8 or 9 years old. My grandma was helping me on the internet, and I won twice, and the Danish person won once. 1 person against 1. I did have my grandmother helping me, of course, and I don't think an 8 or 9-year-old little girl would have been able to beat a really smart Danish person. My grandmother always told me how clever and intelligent the Danish people are, that they're just as smart as the Germans. Yes. And one last shout out to Anthony Pezos from LA Hair. He follows me on Instagram. I think you're very talented, and I'd love to meet you someday when I go to Los Angeles and have my hair done, because you look like a fab hairstyler, hairdresser for the celebs. And I have to, check out his show, WeTV. We don't have WeTV here up here in Canada.
Because Canada don't get nice things, son.
We don't have the nice things that America has, so you're going to have to forgive us that we haven't had the chance to check out WeTV. But I will definitely be looking up LA Hair episodes on the internet whenever I can find them. So check out Anthony Pezos. He is a wonderful Los Angeles Hollywood entrepreneur. And check out his Instagram at Anthony Pezos, P-A-Z-O-S, if you're American. Of course, he's American. We are Canucks, so we say P-A-Z-O-S.
We're from the Great White Northeast.
Indeed. So yes, thank you and please hit the bell next to the subscribe button to get notifications. Like or dislike. Let all your friends know. We want to hit 1,000 subscribers within the next 12 months to finally beat this very challenging YouTube algorithm.
Yeah, and they say if you hit the bell at just the right time, you'll hear a small ding. If you want to find out, click that bell.
That's right. Or you could always ring the cow bell on the cow's neck so the cow goes moo. Sorry, I had to do that. That's one of our inside jokes which we will talk about in a future episode. We don't want to ruin the surprise for the rest of the cattle, now do we? No. Okay. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Stay tuned.
And here's part 3. That's enough of putting other people over. Now it's our turn. The reason why I brought up Metallica and Megadeth is because at least you are aware of Metallica.
Oh, of course. I used to listen to them in high school when I went through an angry, depressed period. Yeah, I don't listen to them anymore, but
I actually got into them in 2008 when I was still in middle school.
That's the same year that I started listening to them. I don't. There's some of their songs that I can relate to, but then there's other songs that I just felt made me more angry as a person. Like their one song, "Unforgiven."
Oh, I love that song.
I know, but unforgiveness harms you more than the other person. It's like carrying bitterness, and believe it or not, there's a lot of people that I know who said they had unforgiveness and bitterness in their life. They ended up getting cancer.
Ouch.
Yeah, so that song, as much as I used to like it, and the beat's catchy and everything, and the drums, the anger at the beginning, whatever it is. Anyway, I haven't listened to that song in years, so I'm playing back my memory right now, and I do the Unforgiven.
Okay, so it's the original Unforgiven.
I think so.
Because there are 3 different ones.
Yes, there's so many of them that I'm tired, like I said, I can't remember, but the lyrics aren't positive for me. honestly, honest to God, it might be a catchy tune, nothing wrong with the tune, but the lyrics for me, I used to have a bit of unforgiveness in my life when I was in high school, I'll admit it, and that's why I kind of relate to that song, and now that I'm older, I'm like, no, that's not the way you go things, you gotta learn forgiveness, because it hurts you more than the other person. It's not about, if I forgive them, the other person's gonna get away with it. No, forgiveness doesn't mean you have to be best friends with them or you have to keep talking to them. It means that you wish them the best, you don't get revenge of them, you send positive vibes their way, you can move on with your life and forget about them and not think about them anymore, but you're not wishing them harm, and you're not wanting to get revenge on them. And if they do change, or become a better person, maybe you will be friends with them down the road. I've said this before in our other videos.
Okay, yeah. I was also gonna say with the song Unforgiven, the chorus, never free, never me, so I dubbed the Unforgiven. It shouldn't really have to have an effect on you per se, even though, yeah, as you said, it's a very catchy tune, and personally it's one of my favorite Metallica songs. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't warp your mentality over song lyrics, because yes, granted they do have a lot of power because they have a lot of meaning to it. At the end of the day, your perception shouldn't be changed with that of metal song's lyrics.
Wow. If it makes me think, as a teenager, I don't think this way anymore, obviously, because I matured since then. But when I was a teenager, I used to think, if the song says so, kind of my stupid way of thinking, and everyone's listening to the song, then I should, I relate to the song, and it doesn't really matter, it's not going to affect me if I don't forgive them, who cares, they deserve it, they did me so much wrong, I'm just going to get pissed off at them. And every time I would listen to that song, it would bring up thoughts, not bad thoughts, but just thoughts about people that have done me wrong in the past, people that did me wrong in the past, and it wasn't healthy. It would make me dwell on negative thoughts, and that's why I don't listen to that song anymore. I mean, I'm not against that type of music as a genre by all means. It's nothing personal with the genre.
It's just not for you.
I like to call it Instaglam because of the modeling accounts on there.
Yeah.
Hashtag Instaglam.
That's clever.
Oh, I didn't make it up. It's already on my Instagram. I just happened to think of it. Anyway, so that being said, so here's the thing about being an Instagram model. Almost anybody can post a selfie, take a picture of them in the mirror with their phone, and call themselves an Instagram model. No offense, but that's not being an Instagram model.
You're kidding me. Anybody can do that?
Anybody can call themselves, look at me, an Instagram model, selfie here, duck face, taking the perfect selfie. There, snap, mirror, snap. And they look at themselves and they think, oh, look, I'm an Instagram model. That is not how modeling works. Sorry.
Yeah, just because you put 30 hashtags in your caption does not make you famous.
No.
If it does, then the algorithms of Instagram are just as ridiculous as, algorithms on, say, YouTube. Because it's just all over the place. It just fluctuates to the point to where it just makes me believe that if someone just gets popular just like that, you're either incredibly lucky
Everybody
or
will be famous.
you just caught a break, which is I guess it's a similar point, but yeah, you're just lucky at that point with Instagram. I like to think it's relying more on luck, whereas I think there's for YouTube an exact science as to
there's a science to Instagram. Famous. You're wrong. I just got 3,000 followers. You're wrong there. There is a science to Instagram. Okay. Anybody can do it. I've been doing research on that.
All right,
Correction?
All right, call me out on it.
It's okay. Yes, I know. I call you out. I know. So, continuing on. So, getting to the point here, with Instagram models, I mean, there's articles about this on YouTube. I'm not saying every single Instagram model that does this, hence I certainly don't. And I would be a hypocrite to criticize every single model out there because I have a modeling portfolio on Instagram, but there is videos about this on YouTube. You can even look this up. I didn't even know about this until last summer. An old friend of mine, who I'm no longer friends with, told me about this, but he told me that a lot of Instagram models who have hundreds of thousands of followers and who are just famous on Instagram but aren't really known as a celebrity per se, basically take fancy pictures of themselves on yachts or on cruises or on boats because they whore themselves out to Arab investors or really, really rich people in the Middle East or Dubai or somewhere in Qatar maybe, and that's how a lot of them make this.
What?
Look it up on YouTube. You can look it up right now as we're talking if you don't believe me, because I will post descriptions in the box below.
No, it's not that I don't believe you.
Okay, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Mind-blowing to think that.
Yeah, they sleep with these people.
The exact science is just to... I don't have to explain. You guys know what I'm gonna say. Put two and two together, but still, the actual concept of how you get famous is just derivative.
Yeah, they're female prostitutes, but they're not really famous though. They're Insta famous. Hashtag Insta famous. They're not famous as in, Kim Kardashian, who you know about even if Instagram didn't exist. Or Paris Hilton. Well, we don't talk about her very much anymore, although she is still somewhat famous. Britney Spears, she's always been famous long before Instagram even came out.
Yeah.
She's been famous since what? She was 18, 17, maybe younger than that when she first got started with Disney Club and Mickey Mouse Club and all this in the 90s.
Yeah, at least Paris Hilton got famous over Disney. Kim Kardashian got famous over bad night vision pornography.
No. Britney Spears got famous over Disney, not Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton is an heiress. The Hilton Hotel?
Ah, damn it.
Me correcting you again. It's okay. The Hilton Hotel. She's the daughter of the founder of the Hilton Hotel. The chain.
Well, I was right about Kim Kardashian, though.
Yes. Rich family, just like the Hiltons. Exactly.
Okay.
Kardashians, Hiltons. They're the new 2018 version of the Hiltons that we talked about back in 2005. 2006. Okay. Exactly.
It's weird what fame and celebrity status comes to.
People will do anything for fame and money, and it's just crazy. But they're not really famous, though. They just make themselves look famous on Instagram. Probably their followers could be bought. They might not be bought. Or the rich men that they're associated with know a lot of people, and they follow them on Instagram, and that's how they make this.
Or worse, the followers could just be bots.
Could be. I don't know for sure, but I don't think so. I don't know for sure, though. But by sleeping with these men, they're basically online prostitutes. They may not look like they're not pornographic pictures per se on Instagram, but they are revealing a lot more than a lot of Instagram models do. Not saying anything bad, just saying, and you don't even know what's going on behind the scenes. How do they get the money to fly to these different countries? How do they get the money when they're not celebrity famous?
That's true.
How do they get the money? Where does all this come from? They have residual income coming in. Maybe not every single Instagram model does this. I certainly don't. It's not for me to judge, but every now and then you see the occasional person who does. Not trying to bet any judgment. I'm just saying this is what I've read. I watch videos about this on YouTube. I will put the links below in the description, and I'm not biased by it anyway because I myself am an Instagram model. So there we go.
At the end of the day, obviously, as Emily have already stated, that there's no judgment here. It's just crazy at the end of the day.
It is insane what social media can do. Back in the 90s, no one ever heard of it. Didn't people didn't become famous through social media? It's probably just through connections, maybe family connections, maybe through, having a lot of money coming from a rich family. But social media back in the 90s, for sure, and even in the early 2000s, certainly didn't make anybody famous for a long time.
Yeah.
It didn't exist. It wasn't big enough to. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
You first.
Yeah, it didn't exist back in the 90s when we were born. Won't say too much more than that. It barely existed in the early 2000s. Really didn't become popular for getting people famous really until maybe 2008, 2009 when Bieber became famous because of YouTube. Continue on.
I was about to say the virtues and vices of social media lie within themselves, and where it's just that the virtue of social media it not only helps your credibility and as probably have stated before, it makes connections. And speaking of YouTube, at least in terms of social media, it helps with us, as you told me off camera, that it helps with acting. And one of my acting teachers also told me in a business class I had with them is if you don't promote yourself, no one else will do it for you. Exactly. So yeah. I guess with someone like me, because the majority of my life I've been very recluse, and I guess I've involuntarily just adapted that into my social media profile. I guess the more I'm talking about it, the more I can change my opinion, where I don't hate it, I just don't care enough for it, because at least I can genuinely say, with its ups and downs, as you and I have gone over for the last 2 episodes, it's that with social media, the concepts are actually phenomenal. I like to think the users themselves sort of ruin it to a degree because of the allotment of problems. Where there's solutions, there are also problems that come with it, and I guess that's also something beyond our control. That's also another aspect of life that unfortunately we have to accept. Take it with a grain of salt, so take with that what you will, and at the same time, you just you just have to find your own way to cope with it. Sure, you can address it. You can put it out in the air for people to just have them think, okay, there are a lot of things that are happening that maybe not too many people know, or maybe there's a common problem that's just have to be addressed that no one is really doing anything about it. And that's just really what we're doing. We're not trying to complain about anything. We're just trying to talk about which or at least for the first part, we talked about how social media have affected us to an absurd degree. And here we're talking about different facts that people may or may not have known, and how it can actually prove to be sort of beneficial when you want to try and ultimately promote yourself. Regardless of what field you want to go into, you're still trying to acquire an iota of fame.
Yes, exactly. I always wondered, even if it was like, what would we like to be famous for a day? I almost think people without even meaning to. When you have everybody, centering, paparazzi taking pictures of you and people so interested in your life, I wonder if obviously you don't have any privacy, but you almost wonder if, maybe some people, without meaning to, become big-headed because they're so wrapped up in their own lives and their career that it almost makes you become selfish without you really meaning to be selfish.
You think it low-key makes people develop an ego problem without meaning to?
Not everybody. I'm sure there's tons of celebrities out there, but I'm sure even the best celebrity out there who's a great role model has occasionally had an ego problem. I've been guilty of it, I'm sure, and I'm not even famous. I'm sure everybody, even if they're not famous, has had that problem without meaning to.
Yeah, it is what it is. And if they don't mean to have an ego problem, I'm sure there are people that are incredibly humble, and those are the kind of celebrities that you have a great deal of respect for. Mm-hmm. And if there are people that develop some kind of a narcissistic mentality, then you just have to try and keep it at a minimum, or at least don't get it to a point to where you cause your own self-destruction, because that in itself has also happened. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to be you want to be famous for the right reasons. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be famous because you want to be famous for the sake of being famous. And that's the kind of thing that really bothers me about social mm-hmm. media, or at least in this day and age, because there are people that kind of do stupid stuff to get famous.
To get famous in the tabloids and the paparazzi to get their name out there. They might not even have a lot of talent, not mentioning names. Not everybody in Hollywood has talent, let's be real here. And, they do outrageous things to get their name out there, and suddenly their face is on Us Weekly, a National Enquirer, In Touch, whatever, you get the gist. And then people are talking about them for a few weeks, and then people go on to the next thing and they get bored. And, and I wouldn't want to be infamous for being, this is one bad example, like the serial killer Charles Manson. I would never want to be famous for that. Who would want to be? Unless they're crazy. Unless they're psychotic. But, that's a bad example. I don't know. I can't think of a less extreme example right now because I'm way too tired. But
I could think of one. Well, I don't want to be famous for eating Tide Pods.
What the hell? Tide Pods?
That's actually an internet trend.
Tide Pods? Oh, Tide Pods. I thought you said Tide, T-Y. I'm like, what? Tide? Oh.
Yeah, Tide. What? The thing that you put in as a laundry detergent. And there was a point where people just were eating it. And I'm just like, why?
Hey guys, we are so sorry about that sudden fade in, fade out, blackout cut on our part. That was because my SD card failed to work, and it was corrupt, and it was only letting us record up to 45 minutes at a time instead of 13 hours at a time, which is what it normally does when it's completely empty.
Well, f*** you too, SD card. We had you fixed, you bloody wank stain.
Yes, I know. It's an absolute sodding piece of rubbish, isn't it? It's rubbishy nonsense, and it just belongs in the sodding dustbin, does it not?
Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, of course it belongs there.
That being said, we're going to finish this episode and say toodaloo very soon here. My lovely friend here is laughing at us while she's watching us. She's my bestie. So, I won't say her name. She's been in one of my other videos before, the one where she wouldn't kill the centipede. So, that being said, we're going to end this. Thank you for putting up with us. Sorry I cut off mid-sentence. We honestly thought I think we said all there is to say about social media, so we decided to end it here.
You want to end? Okay, well, if we were to go on long enough, we had more to say, but you know what? Time constraints are a thing, and you know what? Yeah, let's just call it a night and move on to another topic. So we'll see you all in the next video, and have a good night.
Not yet, dear. we have to do a proper ending. My Instagram is at EmilyCOfficial. There my friend goes, shaking her head away. And your Instagram is...
and the thing that's called the Instagram is called Caswell Shaw, so follow it if you want. Go see the 11 pictures that I've had from maybe years ago. Go say hi, do whatever the heck you want. I probably won't see it, but I'll surprise you somehow.
And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, turn on the little bell next to subscribe to get all the notifications from us, and share this on any social media platform you feel is appropriate. Comment below with your social media stories, and maybe we'll do a collaboration and do a video on other people's horror stories of social media.
Yep.
My channel is Em's Diary, EMZ Diary, EMZ. If you're American, I'm aiming to get 350 subscribers on there. I'm only 7 subscribers away from that. We are aiming to get 150 subscribers on our channel. We currently have 142. Hoping to hit that 1,000 mark within the next year. So please do us a favor and hit subscribe. Thank you so much, dears.
And most importantly, please do Emily a favor because of the amount of time she puts herself over on this podcast.
Yes. Toodaloo.